Good morning, ladies. Happy Friday. I hope your day is going well so far. Today, I want to talk about lifting hard, pushing yourself in the gym in order to see the body composition changes that I would say most of us, if not all of us, want to see. How hard should you be pushing yourself in your workouts? You should be pushing yourself to the point where you can possibly do 1 or 2 more reps, but you can't get that third one out. Like if you have a rep range of 8 to 12, which most of you will see in your programs, that you should be getting to close to failure between that rep range. It's possible when you first start an exercise that you're not as strong than if you would be if you've been doing it for 6 to 8 weeks. So it's possible that with 10-pound weights, for example, you can only do 8 reps with great form. And I want to show you a few examples. This might be a little bit of a longer video, but I want to physically show you what that looks like. So I've got 10s here. And let's say that my rep range is 8 to 12 reps. So I'm doing my shoulder presses. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm going quick. 7, you're gonna slow this down. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, I reached my 12, done my set. You do not want to do that. The rep range is there for a reason, and it is to have you build muscle. We want to be building muscle. Every single one of us, that's how we reach, those toned, muscular, lean physiques that we want, is by lifting heavy, but to the point where you're almost getting to failure. So obviously these 10s, those aren't good. If all you have is 10-pound dumbbells, you are going to have to do more reps to get too close to failure. Even if in your program, I have put 8 to 12 reps. I hope that makes sense. And I guess the next thing would be you need heavier weights. You are stronger. You are stronger than you think. So let me grab some 15s and let's see how we go here. Now, ideally, you want to be resting about 60 seconds. That's probably not 60 seconds, but I'm going to go with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I can keep going. Are those heavy enough for me? No, they are not heavy enough for me. They could be potentially heavier for you, and that's where you would work because that is hard for you. Now I'm going to give these shoulders a little bit of a break, and I'm going to grab my 20s because 15s, if I'm wanting to reach failure between 8 to 12 reps, 15s are not doing it for me. And I can hold a conversation right now. I'm sure I'm a little bit winded, but after you are done your lifting sets, you should be a little winded. Upper body can be slightly different than lower body, and unfortunately I can't show you lower body today because I'm dealing with a little bit of a groin injury at this time, but I think you're getting the point here where you're gonna need your rest if you're working hard enough. And like I said to you in the group chat this morning, or just a few seconds ago or minutes ago, if you are able to do your shoulder presses like I just did, and then rep out some jumping jacks, you are not lifting heavy enough. You should not be able to do any cardio-based exercises after you're lifting. When you're doing your strength training, we are here to like build muscle, to ramp up your metabolism, to keep cortisol down to a degree. And if you are just going, doing jumping jacks, step ups, I don't know, step overs, mountain climbers, burpees in between your lifting sets when you're supposed to be resting, you're not lifting heavy enough. So I think I have given myself plenty of rest there. Let's grab the 20s. And let's see where I get here. Keeping in mind, I want to reach close to failure. And when I say close to failure, I'm still able to lift that weight, and you'll probably see with these, I don't imagine I'll be able to do quite as easily as the 15s, that you are getting to that point where, ooh, you can almost not get it up there. Like, that's how hard you should be lifting. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You see me slowing down? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Can I get another one? 13. Probably could have done one more rep, but you don't want to go to complete failure all the time. Sometimes you will, but I'm a little bit more winded. This is where I want to stay. Let me just put a timer here for 60 seconds, and I'm going to do another set, because in your program, you will likely have 2 or 3 sets. And that's how hard you obviously want to work. If your first set, and you're just learning what the dumbbells are, learning what you could potentially lift, if the first set is not a working set, if it's like the first or second set that I did here with the 10s and or the 15s, and I could have just kept going, that doesn't count. We can count that as a quote-unquote warm-up set. Your sets, when you're lifting your weights, are considered working sets. If you're doing mobility, for example, if you are doing maybe some lateral lunges, I don't have you doing them with dumbbells. There's my minute. Let me get to it. Let's see how we do here. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'm still in that working set, but I'm out of breath. There's no way I'd want to even try to do some jumping jacks or high knees or some cardio-based exercise, because I've worked hard enough and my muscles need that rest. Of course, it's going to look different if you are doing supersets, for example. So it's possible that you'll have shoulder presses, and then I'm going to have you superset with possibly some lateral raises, where your shoulders already a little toast, but you're going into another exercise and you are trying to reach the same thing, failure, or very close, I should say, to failure by the time you reach the rep range that I've got posted for you. It is possible I will have AMRAP written down, which stands for as many reps as possible. And you just go until you cannot go anymore. And that is the intensity. That is the effort. That is how hard you should be training in your sessions. As I was saying before, when my timer went off, if you have exercises in the beginning of your program, working on mobility, you're not going to reach failure. That is to get the muscles warmed up. You may feel a little winded. You may feel somewhat of a burn. But again, if your muscles start burning, they start heating up, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have worked hard enough, especially in your lifting exercises. If you feel a little bit of a burn in, let's say, a 3D lunge where you're lunging forward, lunging to the side, lunging to the front, like that's okay. That is a mobility, endurance exercise. But when you've got dumbbells, barbells, when you're working with machines, when you're actually pushing weight to stimulate, a stimulus for growth for the muscle, you should be working at the intensity that I just showed you here with me lifting the 20s. And if you cannot get there, you need to buy some heavier dumbbells. And that's as simple as I'm going to keep it. So hopefully that's helpful. Let me know if you have any questions about this. I'm expecting maybe a few questions about this because it can be slightly confusing, but hopefully I have given you some type of clarity. Enjoy the rest of your day, ladies.